Good morning, everyone, and a happy Easter to you. Hopefully, I saw you over the weekend and was able to greet you, but if not, hope you had a good one and that it was a joyful and a peaceful and a very meaningful Easter for you. One of the elements that sort of pops up is the whole issue of, dare I say it, Easter eggs. Now, I've got to say that this year I had great difficulty buying Easter eggs, and so one of the reasons is I discovered that beer is actually cheaper than Easter eggs. I joke. Well, some of them are. But it's interesting to have a look at the tradition of Easter eggs. And in my reading, takes us back, in fact, to early Christian times when the early Christians would take ordinary eggs and they would dye them red, symbolizing the blood of Christ. And then obviously coming out of that egg would be a yolk which symbolizes new life. So the whole element of Easter eggs goes all the way back there. Chocolate obviously hadn't been around much at that stage, and so we only find chocolate developing much later on. In fact, probably just around about 100 years ago or so, maybe just over 100 years ago, that chocolate eggs would develop. And the idea is that, once again, the eggs would be hollow if possible, symbolizing again that the tomb is empty now. So marshmallow eggs, I'm afraid, just don't do it. It might taste nice. Don't do it because the symbolism, I think, is lost. I remember when I was a kid and they first brought out those eggs, which have developed now into marshmallow eggs. The yolk was very, very clearly evident. It was a much more chunky egg. I suppose with mass production that these days that just churned out because people like them. So an interesting idea of that the egg actually symbolizes Christ and the resurrection of Christ. Obviously, in order to get that tomb, that empty tomb, you'd have to eat the egg. And that brings us to the fact that most eggs in those times would have been eaten as boiled eggs. So you would actually open up the shell, and therefore there'd be a hollowness left afterwards. I think many people these days simply crack the egg off and then eat it as a whole egg. Some people don't like to eat a raw yolk. I don't know why. Anyway, so that's what the symbolism is. Where does the Easter Bunny come from? Well, it goes back. It has its roots in some German traditions, which were taken across to America, where they developed the whole idea, and chocolate companies like Cadbury's and so forth got a hold of it and started developing it as a chocolate. So anyway, interesting. And the rabbit was once again not necessarily a symbol of fertility. We always talk about the rabbits breed like crazy, but it was simply a messenger that would bring the eggs. Yeah, wonderful day. Stay away from those eggs too much. I know it's a day off, but try and take it easy. We'll see you again. God bless. Bye-bye.